The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Sorry about the color of my eyes. I woke up this morning and met it this way. According to reports, some Nigerian lawmakers are calling for military action against Burkina Faso simply because are all in all decided to detain soldiers and a military aircraft in Burkina Faso. According to reports, a former Nketi lawmaker and chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Ayondele Arise, has urged President Bola Tinubu to consider the option of military action against Burkina Faso to secure the release of Nigerian soldiers currently being held in the West African country. Arise made the call on Saturday while speaking as a guest on an Arise TV program. While acknowledging the Nigerian armed forces are heavily engaged on the home front amid persistent insurgents and banditry, the senator insisted that a military option against Burkina Faso should not be ruled out. Drawing from historical precedent, Arise recall Israel's 1976 Istanbul raid in Uganda, urging that decisive action could force a rethink by the Burkinabe authorities. He said, quote, "I think we should move and do something. As a matter of fact, once they are aware that we want to do that, I am sure that the man who is president there will have a rethink because they are our neighbors." Unquote. Yes, we should be friendly with our neighbors, but at the same time, we should let them know that they cannot be messing with our country. The former lawmaker who represented Nketi North in the Senate also expressed support for the recent military intervention in the Republic of Benin amid at quelling a coup attempt. He dismissed suggestions that President Tinubu acted hastily or breached the constitution by taking action before formally notifying the National Assembly. Arise's concern came barely 24 hours after the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, confirmed that the 11 Nigerian military personnel detained following an emergency landing in Burkina Faso remain in custody. Tuga made the disclosure while speaking to journalists at the ECOWAS Commission in Abuja. "We are discussing how we can resolve this delicate matter as quickly as possible." The minister also clarified that the Nigerian Air Force aircraft involved has no connection with Nigerian intervention in the recent military coup in Benin Republic. This is amazing that people still think that because of the numbers that they are stronger than other African countries. And sometimes we need to wake up because the Burkina Faso yesterday isn't the same Burkina Faso Nigeria you are seeing today. So sometimes let us not allow our numbers and the way other people praise our military might for us to think that other nations are small. And for that matter, we can easily invade them. Because listening to what the minister or the lawmaker is saying, they are clearly thinking that they are mightier than Burkina Faso. And for that matter, when they tell them that they are coming to fight them militarily, they will do their bid. Nigeria, you have all this might to intimidate other people. Yet you don't have that same might to intimidate the Boko Haram activities that you are having in your country. But let us not deceive ourselves, thinking that Burkina Faso is a small nation. And for that matter, because Nigeria, when it comes to the numbers in Africa, they are the largest, can defeat Burkina Faso. You need to wake up. Because when it comes to the intelligence, when it comes to the equipment that they need to defend themselves, I am telling you that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, among us or in Africa, maybe West Africa, if not Africa. But when it comes to West Africa, there is none that have what they have. Because those of you in the democratic elected, Your weapons are determined by your oppressors. They tell the kind of equipment that they want you to have. But these ones have free range. Always will show you the things they are bringing into their country. It's just what we are seeing or what they have allowed us to see. Those that we are not seeing, we don't know. We don't want us to be fighting among ourselves. If you have done the wrong thing and you don't want to admit and find means and ways, and you think that it is a disgrace on your part that Burkina Faso, a small country, is seizing your military aircraft and detaining your people, you need to wake up. Because when this thing happened, the narrative you told us is different. First, you said that this aircraft was moving to Portugal because there was whatever visit. And Portugal came out denying this information. Now you are telling us it wasn't from Benin. But this was what we heard before you now came out debunking that information and claimed that the aircraft actually left Nigeria and is heading to Portugal. What exactly is the Nigerian Armed Force aircraft doing in Burkina Faso? What mission? What business? You decided that they can never use your airspace simple because they have decided to move out of oppression. But you are thinking that because you are mightier in your mind, you can decide to invade other nations. This was the same thing that the United States of America said they want to do in Nigeria, and we all rose up against that intervention. But Nigeria is having it in mind that because of their size and the might they think they have, they can go after the smaller nations, and this Nigeria must rethink, because if the leaders in Nigeria continue with this mentality, there is nothing you'll bring rather than chaos in West Africa. The same thing those of you in the democratic elected are always crying against, pretending. Why will Nigeria Air Force land in Burkina Faso suspiciously, and you expect that the people should not react just because Nigeria is claimed to be the giant of Africa? So whenever Nigeria enter anywhere, everybody should salute Nigeria. We shouldn't ask Nigeria why. This is 21st century. My people will say, if you haven't tasted somebody's mother's soup, you think your mother is the best cook. So you should wake up. If you haven't tasted what is in Burkina Faso military, then you should wake up. Militarily, Nigeria, you have failed. You have shown us how weak you are. But Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, that you are thinking they are smaller nations, and for that matter, they don't have what it takes when it comes to you in terms of standard. You should wake up, because these small nations are doing their best, making sure they reclaim their lands. Now the terrorists are running day in, day out away from Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Majority of them too are bringing their weapons down and asking for forgiveness. Which of that are we seeing in Nigeria? Now the kidnapping, the everything is more in Nigeria. So if there is anything that Nigeria is having to do, you should rather channel that might of yours to the people that are causing insecurity, the banditry. Channel your energy towards that and stop meddling in the affairs of other people, because Burkina Faso has every right to seize the aircraft, and they have every right to determine what they do with it and what they do with your soldiers, as long as it goes against their rules and regulations and their laws. They have to be dealt with. And I all in all said, whatever that they want is what they will do. So Nigeria, use the might to safeguard your territory instead of using it to be invading other people in order to please the oppressor. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria.